Hello friends, this is Sergio Gomez here, and I want to welcome you into my live stream here from Periscope. So let me set up my camera. Hey, I want to welcome you. If this is your first time on Periscope, please say hello through the text box. We'd love to say hi to you as well. And today I'm going to talk about websites, and I'm going to talk about 5 reasons why your artist website may suck and what to do about it. How to fix that problem, how to make it look awesome. Hello, Didi. I see you right down there on the chat box. And the way Periscope works, for those of you who might be new to Periscope, is when you like something that is presented, just tap in your screen a few times, and you'll see some hearts, and that tells the person who's doing the video know that the information is being valuable, or things like that. So you can always tap on your screen, nothing will happen. What happens is you'll see some little hearts on the right hand side, and that's pretty cool. This is my second time I do a Periscope video. The first one was just kind of like a quick test, so this one's a little bit better, and we'll see how that works. Periscope videos are open for 24 hours, so once they are recorded, they go they stay live for 24 hours and then they're gone. So that's how this whole thing works. It's pretty awesome. I think Periscope is one of those great applications that's going to go really, really fast, really, really wild, because it gives you that opportunity to broadcast live, record it for the moment. And the cool thing is that you can download it to your phone before it's gone as well. So that's awesome. So I see some of you guys are joining in right now. Again, I want to talk about 5 reasons why your artist website may suck. And the reason I decided on this topic is because I'm in the process right now of redesigning my artist website. And when I was looking at it, I'm like, wow, I think my website kind of sucks, because it's kind of old. I made it 5 years ago. I code-handed it with Dreamweaver, and it's a nice site, but it has a lot of information. But I think to today's standards, it sucks. So as I evaluated my site and how it should be, and I come up with like 5 things that I think should be on everybody's website if you're an artist. This doesn't only apply to artists. If you're not an artist, this will also apply to just about anyone as well. But the way this works is, and let me show you here for a second. You can see my, let me see if I can pull this up. You can see here, this is my current website. And although it's not the worst thing ever, but it was 5 years old. It doesn't, not that the information is old. The information is very recent, but the design itself is about 5 years old. And this site, when I did this website back then, cell phones were not the standards that they are now. So although it looks good on the phone, it's not responsive. It doesn't reformat for what we're doing today. So that's why I'm going to talk about 5 things that you could do, and if you are in the process of designing your website or redesigning your website, things that you should be thinking about. So let me start there, so we do it fast and quick and short and sweet. So, and at the end, I'm going to give you a website where you can go and get the cheat sheet of all the resources that I'll be sharing with you, and some of them which I'll add at the end as well. So again, if you like some of the information, as I mentioned, you can always join in the chat. Send your questions, send your comments as you're viewing this video. Tap on the screen a few times, and you'll see some hearts coming out as well if you like what you see. Anyway, so the first thing that I think you should have in your website, and one of the mistakes when it comes to artists creating a website, and I say this as a curator too and director of exhibitions of a big art center here in Chicago, and one who does curatorial projects not only in Chicago but also nationally and internationally, and I'm always visiting artist websites. There's not a week in which I don't visit an artist website. And out of date, if your website, if your information is out of date, it's useless to me as a curator, as a gallery owner, as a director, as a project manager of exhibitions. Your information always has to be up to date. So that's the first mistake that sometimes artists do. We all get so excited about, hey, I'm gonna create my website. It's awesome. I'm doing all this work. You spend a whole month designing it, and then you don't do anything. You don't touch it for the next 6 months, and that's not how it should be. An artist's website is always it's always a working process. So your site should always be changing as your art changes. When I go to an artist's website and all I see is work from the last year, my first question is, so what this artist been doing the last 6 months? Absolutely nothing, according to the site. If the site is your personal window to everything you do as an artist, it should be, and it should have really always the latest information. So that's number one. If you don't want your website to suck, make sure your information is always up to date. Second one is, here, make a note, if your website is dry and cold. What do I mean by dry and cold? Meaning that there's no signs of life anywhere in your site. Have you ever been to a home that's empty? Or, maybe as a kid you went into your uncle's house or your aunt's house or your grandma's house the first time, and there was, it was kind of a mysteriously way to get in, and you go into some rooms looks like nobody has ever worked in there in the last 10 years. So that's kind of what I'm talking about here. A site that you go in is dry and cold. There's no presence of a living artist in there in any way. So how can you fix that? Well, you should have, I think, in your website, again, website should be a living organism in a way. There's always should be life in there. How you do that? Through blogs. If you put a blog in your site, the blog always gives like news of what's happening in your art career. If you have an email list, you can put that information in your blog as a blog post. It doesn't mean that you have to become a blogger and spend hours and hours creating a blog. Just create something simple that looks like you are active, that you're telling us what's happening in your art career. Make it more personal. Make it look, make it feel that somebody's actually behind that cold website that we're looking at. Or perhaps a news feed. Some of you have a news tab, and that's wonderful. Again, a blog or a news feed is great for you as an artist to have in your website. And even if you're not an artist, it just gives that freshness of information so that the website is not dry and cold. And that's something that was lacking on my old website, where I had a link to my blog, but it was my external blog. So people had to leave my website in order to go to my blog. So in this new one that I'm redesigning, which I'm going to show you a preview in a few minutes, a quick preview is not published yet, but I'll show you what I'm working on and show you how I'm applying these principles into my own website. So, you don't want information that's out of date, and you don't want your site to look dry and cold, like nobody's been there forever. So give the viewers that come in a reason to stick around, to find out more about you and your work. All right, and that's going to help you so that your site doesn't suck. Number 3 is no way to capture leads. If you have no way to capture leads, in other words, people come into your site and they look at your website and they have no way of capturing leads. In other words, they don't know how they how to connect with you after they've been to your site. If somebody comes, if I go to a lot of websites, like I said, of artist websites throughout the week, and sometimes I may like an artist's work, and there's no way to follow that artist. How do I follow that artist, in the long run? Is there a way in which I can leave my information? Is there a mailing list that I can join so I can find out updates from this artist? I think as an artist, you should have one. You should have a mailing list that's always active, that's growing. So, if you like that information, just tap on your screen. And how many of you guys have a email list? If you do, just tap on your screen a few times and can see, that's something that you have and you're working with. So it's a great way for you to connect with people. You don't want somebody who's interested in your work having a hard time finding how to contact you. You have no idea how many times I go to an artist's website, and it takes me a few clicks to find out how in the world I can contact that person. That is one of the biggest mistakes artists make. They're trying to make their website so clean and so neat and so minimal that they forget to put a contact information, how to contact them, how I can join, how I can find out more about them as a curator and as a gallery owner. So those are the things that you want to avoid if you don't want your website to suck. Number 4, I'm going to give you is if your website is not responsive to mobile devices. Let's suppose that your website looks great on the screen in your home computer, but the reality is when you share your website online and with your friends, most people will check your site in their tablet, in their iPad, or whatever other mobile device they might be using, their Android phone, their iPhone, and you want a site that is responsive. What does that mean? Well, it means that the information that you have, it is reformatted to fit on the phone, and fonts, also the fonts get resized to fit on that screen, so that a person doesn't have to be pinching in and pinching out on your screen left and right all the time. So you want to do that, and you want to make sure that when somebody works in yours, looks at your website, they have that experience where everything fits the right way on their screen, on their palm of their hands, which is, in the way in which most people are now accessing the web. It's not when they get home and sit down in front of the computer, but it's as they go through their daily life and on their mobile device. So you want a website that's responsive. If your website is not responsive right now, then it sucks. You gotta make it work awesome. So think about that. That's number 4. And the last one that I want to give you, and then I'm going to show you how I'm redesigning my whole website to fit with these 5 principles so that my website doesn't suck. And then I'm going to give you a link that you can go for more resources later on. The number 5 is, if you're not using videos, I go to websites where, it's just little pictures here and there and thumbnails. And again, in an effort to make it all nice and clean, and sometimes artists are not using video the way they should. I think that every artist should use video to their advantage. If you're an artist, you should have video. You should work with video. Again, you don't need to be a videographer. All you need is a phone that can capture video. This thing now that we're using right now, Periscope, is an amazing thing. I'm doing this live feed video right now from my home, sitting on my desk. And I can then share this video with the whole world. So, you should create videos from your studio. You can do a gallery talking right from your studio, or next time you have an opening, or use video to kind of keep people interested in your work. I believe video is one of those big awesome things that every artist should have in their website as much as possible. So if you don't want your website, your artist website, to suck, those are the 5 things, 5 principles I went over. Of course, you want to have all your information there, but out of date. If you don't want your information to be out of date. You don't want your website to be dry and cold, meaning that there's no signs of life, there's no news feed, there's no blog posts, there's nothing, only just bare bones. You want to make it personal. If there's no way to capture leads from your visitors, how do you capture the people that come in and are interested in your work? Maybe they come in, they like it, but that's it. How you capture those leads? You gotta have a way for people to leave their information, just their name and email, so that you can add them to your mailing list. And you can do this if you have MailChimp or Constant Contact or Infusionsoft or any of those other email marketing newsletter programs that you can use, and they give you a code that you can apply to your website so that people can sign in for your mailing list automatically while you're sleeping. There's no reason why you should not have that. Or it's not responsive to mobile devices. In other words, it looks great on your desktop, but when looking at your information or your website on your phone, it's really tiny. You don't want to do that. And it has no videos. I think video is the next big thing. Well, it has already been for a while, but it's going to get even bigger. So you got to have that. So now I'm going to switch my screen, and I'm going to show you how I'm completely redesigning my artist website and what I'm doing. All right. So give me a second here. Got to take my phone. Whoa. My screen. So here's my current website. My current website is obsolete now. The information is good. The information is up to date, but it's not responsive. It doesn't have a lot of videos. It's just not what I wanted. So what I'm working on right now is in a new platform, which I went with. I decided to go with WordPress, and I found an awesome platform here that I'm going to use. And then I'm working on this template. It's a responsive template. I want to make my site look personal too, because I do a lot of things, not only art, but I do curation and projects and so forth, and podcasts and things like that. So I want a lot of people to identify me by the photograph or by my work. So I have both of them in this welcoming photograph here. People can then go to my art or my projects. Here's information about my projects or my art or my curatorial, or if they want to go and listen to my podcast and my personal information. In one sentence, I say what my work is about. My work is about understanding the cycles of life and my spiritual awareness through that journey. That in one sentence tells what my work is about. And of course, if they want to know more about it, they can just click there and move on. Brief mini bio, so people know what I do. And I'm an artist curator, Art Next Level co-founder and educator. So here is a kind of a shorty but again, it can be expanded. Team Gomez, it's a few of us who kind of work in creating all the content that we do and we share with artists, what others have said about me. And here I have, different curators and people that have talked about my work, and I put some quotes from them as well. Here's where my latest, like I said, this website is still under construction. Here's where my latest news will be. So it looks like this website is not dry and cold, but I'm alive and I'm doing things. So that will be there. Get in touch. Here's how people can send me information really quickly. I'm still working on adding all my social media buttons and also on links so people can live and join my mailing list. Then, of course, all the other pages that I'm working on. For example, I do a lot of, my curatorial projects. If I click in here, here's my curatorial projects page. So you can click on any of these exhibitions that I have done. It gives you more information about that. My photographs of past exhibitions. A video, again, videos are awesome. So I have a video here so you can click and watch a video. Or if you'd rather look at pictures, there's pictures there. I've done a bunch of live performances. So I have those videos as well. And so people love to see the process of making art. So have a glimpse of that if possible. If you have also exhibitions which are series or special events or things like that. So here's how I make this one giant large drawing piece and also photographs of the process, the final piece, as well as a video documentation of that. And of course my paintings, which is, or my end drawings as well, is all here. And here's a whole list of all the pictures, thumbnails of my work, and whatever you click on, it will take you to that work and will give you that information relevant to that work of art as well. So that's that. And some studio shots as well. Again, lots of videos because I think that's important in today's world, and people love videos and so forth. And now connection speeds are faster and that kind of thing. So in a nutshell, that's what I'm working on. Like I said, this website is not live yet. I should have it done probably in the next 3 or 4 days, and then it'll be ready to roll. So what I'm going to do, I want to show you a page online where you can download some resources. This one's called, if you want to get my cheat sheet, go to theartistnextlevel.com/web. Again, theartistnextlevel.com/web. And I'm going to put here everything that I talk about today with some also links and things to other resources that I use to enjoy it. I'm not going, if you go there right now, the page is not up yet. I wanted to do the video first, and then I'm going to go in right now after this video and put the resources online after this thing goes live. So that's all, my friends. I wanted to share this. If you like this video, tap in your screen, please. Send me some hearts. Thank you so much. See some of them there. That tells me that you like the information that I shared. I will be sharing more things in the future. So if this is, how many of this is your first time in Periscope? If this is your first time in Periscope, just put a Y on the text box. So I know this is your first time logging in. It's awesome. Here you can find a lot of people doing great things. I follow a lot of people that are interested. I'm interested on knowing more about them. So it's a great way to connect and to follow and to learn quickly. So that's it. Thanks for joining me today. And great. Thanks from Santiago as well. And I hope this was useful. If you guys like it, just tap on your screen a few times. I would appreciate the hearts, appreciate the love. That tells me that, this is something that you guys found it interesting and important. And again, check it out, theartistnextlevel.com/web in a few minutes. And thanks, Didi. And I will have a cheat sheet for you that you can use. Thanks again. Talk to you soon.